All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into the age of AI and our human future.
Yeah, this isn't just another tech book.
No, not at all.
We're talking Henry Kissinger,
Oh, wow.
former Google CEO Eric Schmidt,
Okay.
and MIT Dean Daniel Huttenlocher,
That's like a whole squad of brilliant minds,
all coming together to tackle this question that honestly I think is going to define our century.
which
How
is
does AI change the world?
right.
But even more importantly, what does it mean to be human
Yeah.
in a world where machines are, getting smarter every single day?
It's a question I think a lot of us are wrestling with.
And the authors, they don't waste any time.
Oh, no.
They throw you right into the deep end
I like that.
with a story you might remember.
Oh, let's hear it.
AlphaZero.
AlphaZero, the AI that mastered chess.
Yeah, the one that taught itself.
Oh, yeah, then crushed the world champion.
Exactly. I remember everyone was freaking out about that.
Like, is this the beginning of the end?
Right, but here's the thing. The truly mind-blowing part
Yeah.
is that AlphaZero didn't just win. It came up with strategies
Oh, wow.
that no human had ever even thought of before.
So it's not just that AI is better at, like, crunching numbers or something.
No.
It's like seeing the game differently.
Exactly. It's almost like AlphaZero expanded what we thought was even possible in chess.
Okay, so that's chess. But what about the rest of the world?
Well, the authors argue that this isn't just a chess thing.
Oh,
This is a fundamental thing about AI.
okay.
It accesses and processes information differently than our brains do.
So maybe we're missing out on solutions just because our brains aren't wired the same way.
It's definitely a possibility.
That's kind of unsettling, but also kind of exciting.
It is. And the book is full of examples that are just mind-blowing.
Like what?
Okay, so scientists have been struggling for years
With?
to find new antibiotics.
Right, super important.
And then an AI steps in,
No way.
discovers this powerful new drug,
What's it called?
Hallicin.
Hallicin, okay.
Yeah. But here's the wild part.
Okay.
Even after the discovery,
Yeah.
the scientists couldn't figure out why Hallicin worked.
Oh, that is wild.
The AI had spotted these relationships in molecular structure that were totally invisible to humans.
So we're already creating AI that's making discoveries that
Yeah.
we don't even fully understand.
It's happening, and it raises some big questions
Oh, yeah.
about control and about, like, the nature of understanding itself.
Okay, before we go any further,
Yeah,
I think we need to maybe, like, demystify this AI thing a bit.
I agree.
Because for a lot of people, it still sounds like science fiction.
It does. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
But the core concept behind a lot of today's AI
Yeah.
is actually surprisingly straightforward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called machine learning.
Machine learning.
And you're
Yeah.
already experiencing it every day.
Wait, really? Give me an example.
Think about your email inbox.
Yeah, full of spam.
Exactly. How does it filter that spam out? That's AI in action.
Oh, I never thought of it that way.
Instead of programmers writing, very specific rules to identify every single type of spam,
Yeah.
we just feed the AI tons of examples,
Okay.
and it learns to recognize patterns on its own.
So it's like showing a kid a bunch of cat pictures to teach them what a cat is.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's one type of machine learning called supervised learning.
Supervised. Okay.
But there's also unsupervised learning.
Unsupervised. Sorry. What's that?
That's where we let the AI loose on a bunch of data
Uh-huh.
to find connections that, honestly, we might miss.
Humans might miss.
Totally.
So that's like how Netflix recommends shows you might like.
Exactly, but way more powerful.
Okay, so we're basically teaching machines to think for themselves
And will work.
by feeding them information. But what about all those stories you hear about AI playing games and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Is that different?
That's where reinforcement learning comes in.
Reinforcement learning.
Think of it like training a dog.
Oh,
It'll reward it for good behavior.
Right.
The AI learns by doing a task over and over again,
Uh-huh.
getting rewarded for good actions
Okay.
and, penalized for bad ones.
Gotcha.
That's how AlphaZero became a chess master.
So it's constantly learning and improving.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how AI is like already woven into our lives.
Oh, it's everywhere.
It's not just some like futuristic concept anymore.
Sure.
It's now.
It's happening.
But the book doesn't stop at individual tasks, right? It talks about this thing called network platforms.
It does, and that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
AI's impact goes way beyond just making our lives a bit easier.
Or beating us at chess.
Right, or even helping us discover new drugs.
Hmm.
It's reshaping how we connect with each other
Okay.
and how we consume information.
So we're talking about social media, online shopping, like all those apps we use every day.
Exactly. All powered by AI that's constantly learning your preferences and using that information to shape your choices.
Hold on. So even if I think I'm making my own choices,
Yeah.
the AI might be like nudging me in certain directions behind the scenes.
You can feel that way, yeah.
That's kind of creaky, isn't it?
It can be, and it gets even more interesting.
How so?
Because of this thing called positive network effects.
Positive network effects? What's that?
Basically, the more people that use a platform, the more valuable it becomes.
Oh, okay.
So a few giant platforms end up dominating.
Like the winners take all.
And that has huge implications.
Not just economically, but like for society as a whole.
Absolutely, these platforms.
Yeah.
They're collecting tons of data on us.
Right.
They're influencing elections.
Wow.
And they can even be used to spread misinformation.
So it's like a whole new battleground, but instead of bombs and tanks, we're fighting with data and algorithms.
Exactly.
This is getting intense.
It is. It's a whole new kind of power dynamic.
And we're just starting to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's just one of the many challenges the authors lay out in The Age of AI.
Well, it sounds like we've got a lot more to unpack.
Oh, we're just getting started.
So we've talked about like the potential benefits of AI, but also some of the very real risks. We've seen how it's changing warfare, the spread of information.
Totally.
Even like the way we understand reality itself.
It's a lot of process.
It is. But I think the biggest takeaway from the age of AI so far is that this isn't some like inevitable future that we're just passively drifting towards, you know?
I agree.
We have choices to make, and those choices, they really matter.
They do.
The authors really drive home this point that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good.
Or for evil.
It all comes down to us, the humans, the values we embed in it, the goals we set for it.
It's about shaping its development. And making sure it's used in a way that benefits humanity.
So it's not about like trying to stop AI altogether.
No, not at all.
It's about guiding it.
It's about steering it in the right direction.
Okay, I like that analogy.
They make this like really powerful comparison in the book.
Oh yeah, for what?
To the Enlightenment.
The Enlightenment, okay.
Where, you know, all these new technologies were coming out, the printing press and such, and they led to all these new philosophical insights.
That transformed society.
Exactly.
Okay, I see the parallel.
They're saying we're at a similar crossroads now with AI.
We've developed this incredibly powerful technology.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to figure out what it means.
For us as humans.
Right.
For our societies.
For the future.
For everything.
It's a huge responsibility.
It is, and that's maybe the most important point.
But where do we even begin?
Well, one of the most important things is promoting transparency.
Transparency.
And accountability in how these AI systems are developed.
So no more black boxes.
Exactly. We need to be able to understand how these systems work.
Like, what data are they using? How are they making decisions?
We need to be able to look under the hood.
I like that.
And this requires a, multi-pronged approach.
Like what?
We need to educate the public about AI.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that people have at least a basic understanding.
Of how it works.
Yeah, and what the potential implications are.
So an informed public
is a more empowered public.
I like that. It's not about everyone becoming a programmer or anything.
Right.
But it's about having enough understanding to ask the right questions.
Exactly.
And to hold, those in power accountable.
We also need clear ethical guidelines.
Okay.
And regulations for the development and use of AI.
So it's like setting some ground rules.
It's like a set of rules for the AI road,
Yeah, I like that.
So that everyone's playing fair.
Nobody's cutting corners.
And AI isn't being used for, nefarious purposes.
Right, but developing these guidelines, it sounds complicated.
It's not a simple task.
No.
It requires bringing together experts from all different fields.
Like who?
Computer science, ethics, law, social sciences, everyone.
To grapple with these really complex challenges.
It's a human problem.
Yeah.
That requires human solutions.
But it also feels like something that goes beyond national borders.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, AI is a global technology, right?
It is.
So shouldn't the solutions be global too?
Absolutely. The authors talk a lot about the need for international cooperation.
So that's like
working together to establish common standards.
Okay.
Sharing knowledge. And really trying to prevent an AI arms race.
Which could easily get out of control.
Exactly.
So maybe that means new international institutions, treaties, new ways to enforce these agreements.
It's a tall order.
It is, but I guess that's the scale of the challenge.
And the book emphasizes that this isn't something that just governments and experts can figure out on their own.
No.
This is a conversation that needs to involve everyone.
Because it's going to affect everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to like the personal level for a second. Yeah. For someone listening to this right now, what can they do to like prepare for an AI-powered future?
The authors offer some really good advice.
Okay, I'm listening.
They say the most important thing you can do is to cultivate those uniquely human skills.
The things that AI can't replicate.
Exactly.
Okay, give me some examples.
Creativity, critical thinking, empathy, emotional intelligence.
So it's not about becoming an AI expert.
No.
It's about becoming more human.
It really is.
I love it.
They end the book with this really powerful quote.
Oh, what is it?
They say, "The ultimate test will be how much we cherish and cultivate our humanity as we test the limits of our ingenuity."
Wow, that's a good one. That's something to think about.
It is.
It's like a challenge.
For all of us, as AI becomes more powerful, more pervasive, it's worth asking ourselves,
what does it mean to be human in this new age?
What values do we want to see reflected in its development?
What role do we want to play in shaping the future of AI?
And the future of humanity itself?
Those are big questions.
They are.
But they're important questions.
The future isn't predetermined.
No.
It's being written right now.
And we all have a part to play in that story.
We do.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
You know, the potential benefits of AI, how it's changing warfare.
The spread of information.
Even how we understand, like, reality itself.
It's a lot.
It is.
But honestly, one of the things that really struck me about the age of AI is that this isn't just some, like, passive thing that's happening to us.
Right, like we have agency here.
We do. The authors really emphasize that AI is a tool.
Like a hammer or?
Yeah, like any tool.
It can be used to build a house or to break something.
Exactly. It all comes down to the humans.
The ones using the tool.
The values we embed in the technology, the goals we set for it.
So are you saying it's not about trying to stop AI altogether?
No, I don't think so.
It's about like shaping its development.
Yeah, making sure it's used in a way that actually benefits humanity.
Okay, that makes sense.
They made this really interesting comparison to the Enlightenment.
Oh, okay.
Where, you know, all these new technologies were coming out.
Like the printing press.
Yeah.
And it led to these huge shifts in like how people saw the world.
Totally. It transformed society. And they're saying we're at a similar point now with AI.
So it's not just about the tech itself.
No.
It's about how we choose to use it.
It's about the choices we make.
Yeah.
Individually and collectively.
Okay. I'm with you so far, but this feels like a huge responsibility.
It is.
Where do we even begin?
Well, the authors outline a few key areas.
Oh, good.
Where we need to focus our efforts.
All right. I'm listening.
One of the most important is promoting transparency.
Transparency, okay.
And accountability in how these systems are developed.
So we're talking about, like, lifting the veil.
Yeah, no more black boxes.
We need to understand how these systems work, right?
Exactly.
What data they're using.
How they're making decisions.
Because if we don't understand how the tools work...
we can't really control them.
Right, that makes sense.
And this requires a, multi-pronged approach.
Okay, break it down for me.
First, we need to educate the public about AI.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So people have at least a basic understanding of how it works.
Okay.
What the potential implications are.
So we're talking about, like, digital literacy.
Exactly. An informed public is a more empowered public.
I like that it's not about everyone becoming a programmer.
Right.
But it's about having enough knowledge to ask the right question.
To hold those in power accountable.
We also need, like, clear ethical guidelines, right?
Absolutely.
For the development and use of AI.
It's about setting some boundaries.
Yeah, it's like a set of rules for the AI road.
Okay, I can see that.
So that everyone's playing fair.
Nobody's cutting corners. And AI isn't being used for, harmful purposes.
Right, but like coming up with those guidelines, it sounds really complicated.
It is. It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
Because it requires bringing together so many different perspectives.
Oh, yeah, like who?
We need computer scientists,
okay,
ethicists, legal experts,
social scientists,
to really grapple with all the complexity.
It's not just a tech problem.
No, it's a human problem.
That requires, well, human solution.
Exactly.
But this also feels like it's bigger than any one country.
It is.
I mean, AI is a global technology.
Absolutely.
So shouldn't the solutions be global too?
Yeah, the authors really emphasize the importance of international cooperation.
Just what we're talking about.
Establishing common standards.
Okay.
Sharing knowledge.
To prevent Like an AI arms race?
Exactly. Something that could quickly spiral out of control.
So maybe that means like new international institutions, treaties, new ways to like enforce these agreements.
It's a tall order, but it's necessary.
Yeah, I guess that's the scale of the challenge we're facing.
And honestly, it's not something that governments and experts can figure out on their own.
It's going to take all of us.
It's a conversation that needs to involve everyone.
I like that because ultimately, AI is going to impact all of our lives.
In one way or another.
So we should all have a say.
In how it's developed, how it's used.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Okay.
For someone listening to this right now, what can they do to, like, prepare for this AI-powered future?
Well, the authors actually offer some really good advice.
Okay, I'm all ears.
They say the most important thing is to cultivate those uniquely human skills.
You know, the things AI can't replicate.
Exactly.
Like what?
Creativity, critical thinking, empathy, emotional intelligence, those kinds of things.
It's not about becoming an AI expert.
Yeah.
It's about becoming more human.
I love that. That's a great way to put it.
So it's not a competition.
No.
It's about recognizing our strengths.
And using them to shape the future.
AI can automate tasks.
Sure.
But it can't replace human judgment.
Human connection.
Human ingenuity.
Those qualities are going to be more valuable than ever.
In an AI-powered world.
Yeah, they really will.
And that's a really hopeful message.
It is.
You know, amidst all this talk about the potential risks and dangers.
It's easy to get caught up in the fear.
But we have a choice.
We do.
To shape this technology.
To use it for good.
To make the world a better place.
That's what this is all about.
And that's a future worth fighting for.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the age of AI.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a wild ride, but I think we've all learned a lot.
I hope so.
And to our listeners, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep imagining the possibilities.
The future is ours to create.
Let's go make it a good one.
I'm in.